start. Everybody keep the camera switch on, and we will start chapter number 9, Vendor of Sweet, chapter number 9. Vendor of Sweet, chapter 9. So, Tenuki, tell me, what is the last chapter you did your presentation of? Can you remember?
I did until chapter 7.
7. So only one chapter is remaining.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. So if it is the presentation, we'll see. I drop a message at least personally, connect you, and take your presentations and wind it off. නැත්තම් ඒක රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැනේ. මට ඕනි right. Chapter number 9. Chapter number 9, where we stop now, Jagan has gone with Chinnadore to see the place where he exactly want to erect that god statue, right? He want to carve the god statue and he need the sponsorship from Jagan. Jagan and Chinnadore is supporting each other. Jagan need a companion so that he can stay away from his own family. And Chinnadore need somebody who can bear the expenses of his statue, right? He wants to erect a statue in that particular place so that he can remember his father, right? So-called father. Actually, he is a master, but we know it is his father. Okay. Tanuja. Who is Tanuja? Left. Jagan now had a separate key with which he let himself into his house softly, crossed the passage, and shut the door between his part of the house and his son's. Now they live in the same house but as two different families. Until now, the problem is Jagan don't want to invest money on his son's business, and but son, it is not like a request but a demand, right? He consider like giving money is a must. Father should give me the money. Father must provide the capital so that I can start my business. It is not coming as a request but as a demand, right? That is the only concern father has so far. Okay, so now he understand, I have spread love, I have given love, I have pampering my son, but my son has taken me as a person who provide only the financial support. So he has no attachment with me, but he utilizing me, he used me for his benefits. So that awareness has come to Jagan mind. That is the only concern he has so far, right? Then he hooked his upper cloth on a nail in the wall, stripped off his jibba, passed onto the backyard wall, poured a lot of cold water over himself, and came out of the bathroom. Feeling hungry today, he set a bowl of water on the kitchen oven, cut up a few vegetables, and threw them in, along with a small measure of cozily ground wheat. The day had been hot and he preferred to remain without a vest. While his dinner was cooking, He stood before the gods for a second with eyes shut, then lit an oil wick and took out his small charka wooden spinning wheel from behind a large bureau, inserted a hank of cotton, turned the wheel, and drew a fine thread out. Watching its growth with the senses pleasure, the slight whirring noise of the wheel and the thread growing out of it between one's thumb and forefinger was very comforting. පුතේ මං ඔයාලට chapters කීය වෙනකන් notes දැම්මද? Until which chapter you received note from me, Tenuki darling?
Chapter 5, ma'am.
Chapter 5. So the problem is mouse is working. Why the keyboard is not working then? Keyboard එක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැද්ද පුතේ? It's working. Windows plus E. Oh, Windows plus R is working. But Windows plus this one E. Why it's not working? මම එක දාලා මෙන්නඟ. I'll share it. One chapters. Oh, come on. Altogether we have 13 chapters, no? Yes. 13. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Only 5 chapters are there. Prepared notes, no. 2024 O level. You guys 2025? No. 2025, no? Not 2024. Grade 11? No. Literature note? No. Fiction? 2025? Yes. Shall I share all 13 chapters? Chapter 13 and the complete study guide as well. So Tenuki, you can study, I'll drop.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I'll drop everything, huh? පුතේ මට පොඩි help එකක් කර okay නෑ මං කරන්නම් ඔයා පවුනේ. ඔන්න මම ඔක්කොම ටික දැම්මා. complete study එක දාලා තියෙනවා, chapter wise දාලා තියෙනවා. 1 to 13 entire notes I have shared. ඔයාලට studies කරන්න පුළුවන්. මම explain කරගෙන යන්නම්. දැන් open කරගෙන බලන්න ඉන්න එපා. Later you check it. Okay. So here Jagan is not in a very good mindset, right? He's broken. He's tired because he has visited a rural place, right? A place where the place which is situated inside the jungle, and there were some sort of difficult situations he underwent, but still he, after taking his wash, after getting a refreshment, what he does his per day duty. What is that? Spinning a 1 yard cloth. Gandhi had prescribed spinning not only for the economic ills of the country, but also for any deep agitation of the mind. So when your mind is a bit confused, you are not in a very good mentality level, then what you can do? then what you can do, you can spin the cloth, so it will calm down your mind. Like I practice of watering the plants when I'm disappointed or when I'm heartbroken. I water my plants. හරිද? දැන් මගේ මං කොච්චර broken ද කියලා නම් දැන් මගේ ගෙදර ගස් ඔක්කොම වැහිලා තියෙන්නේ, පොණ්ඩ එකක් හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. So that's how heartbroken I am all the time. Okay? Right. මේ අපිට දුක විඳින විදිහට අපි රෙදි වියන්න කිව්වනම් අපේ ගෙදර රෙදි වියලා තියන්න වෙනම කාමරයක් හදන්න වෙනවානේ. Okay. Agitation. Agitation mean what? A turmoil, a disturbance, unrest, anxiety. You can take the agitation. Okay, turmoil also the same. Turmoil mean what? A disorder, confusion, right? Turmoil is a confusion. He had a feeling that his identity was undergoing a change. If that was so, why should he bother or reset the idea? Committed to various things until yesterday, to the shop and the family, he was a different man at this moment. So far, he has committed himself for the family and the shop. He didn't think about it. He didn't think anything about himself, right? He was not a selfish person, right? Whatever the money he earned, it's only for his family betterment. Family means the son's betterment, right? His life was running in between the family and the shop, nothing else. An interval transformation had taken place. Although he still cared for the shop and house, this latest contact had affected him profoundly. What is the latest contact? The Chinnadorai, right? The affair between the Chinnadorai and the Jagan. The gods must have taken pity on his isolated, floundering condition and sent this white-bearded savior. As he turned the spinning wheel, sitting there in the courtyard with the sky-reaching coconut trees of the neighborhood waving amidst the stars, his mind analyzed everything with the utmost clarity. He wondered if the bearded man might not be a visitation from another planet. Otherwise, what had brought him into his shop exactly when he needed him? Why really need help? Who really need help and from whom? The man had said he needed help installing the image of the goddess, while he himself thought that he was being helped. He could not solve the puzzle easily and so left it alone. Anyway, it was a reposeful memory. The man had really communicated a thrilling vision when he described the goddess with 5 heads, right? So this bearded man entered Jagan's life when Jagan exactly needed one, right? So the man entered his life and asking the support of installing a god statue. At that moment, Jagan was ready to support him because he thought he was being supported by the bearded man. That's why he thinks whether this bearded man has entered to his life from another planet. අපි හිතනවා නේද දෙයියන්ට දුක හිතලා දෙයියෝ මේවද දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. අපි හැමලාට සමහරලාට කියනවා නේද? ඔයාව නම් මගේ ජීවිතේට දෙයියෝ තමයි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Because I was that much heartbroken. I was struggling a lot. ටික දවසකින් තමයි මතක් වෙන්නේ අප්පට සිරිගජ. මේ මනුස්සයා තමයි ලෝකේ තියෙන ලොකුම struggle එක කියලා. Okay. Should he help him or not to complete his task? He knew nothing about him. How could he trust him? On what basis? After he finished the image, what then? Live in his company in that wilderness and encourage him to carve more images? What would happen to the hair dye? Perhaps he'd be expected to take charge of the business and run it in addition to his sweets. Run after white hair on a large scale, earn more money, and run Mali further, ruin Mali further. He suspended his reflections and his spinning for a moment in order to attend to the vegetables on the stove. Then he came back to his wheel, thinking of the fixed law of nature by which wheat was cooked in exactly 30 minutes. If it was cooked for 40 minutes, it became gruel and was no good nutritionally. In food making, and food eating, what was important was precision. It was a science that what he was trying to establish in his book, which would have been in the hands of the public, but not for Nataraj. Why was Nataraj so indifferent to this task while he had printed the prospects of Mali with alacrity? So these things come to his mind when he is spinning the wheel, right? While he was spinning the wheel, he think about Chinnadurai. Now Chinnadurai has entered his life. He is asking help to install an image. That's okay. I can support him. Then what? After that, what he is going to do? After installing image, will he continually asking support to install more images? Or is he going to, like, when he install an image in that place, people will visit, so he will get lot of customers, he can promote his business, that hair dyeing business, right? And he can earn a lot of money. After that, he can start another business, and it can create a competition to my son as well. So his thinking capacity is so much, and he is thinking deeply about that. And finally, he remember, I have kept the food on the stove, right? He is so much into his belief. That's why when the stove, he has fixed a timer to cook food. The grain should not be overcooked. What will happen then? The grain will be destroyed, just the way we do with the greens, right? කොළ වර්ග ඕනාට වඩා මලවුවට පස්සේ ඒක කනවට වඩා හොඳයි හරකට දෙන එක. So you should not eat the overcooked grass, because all the nutrients get vanished, right? Get destroyed. The process of overcooking. Yadav, what are you doing? The facial expression says you are doing something else, because that happiness I will not see in your face while you are listening to the text. I see the smile and the enthusiasm in your face. So it says behind my back, you are doing a stupid thing. If I am your mother, I should be right. Yes or no? Yeah. See, he is my son. Why I am telling so? Whatever the stupid thing he do, he accept it. He accept it, right? No, I didn't do amma කියලා කියන්නේ. එච්චරයි තියෙන හොඳ. මම මේ උගුර කඩාගෙන කෑ ගහනවා. එයා විකාර කරනවා. So Mali with alacrity. What is the meaning of alacrity?
Alacrity.
What is that? Alacrity?
Willingness.
Willingness. Yes, willingness. Tell me another simple form of that willingness. Mean eagerly, right? Eagerness. When the Mali wants to print his prospect, he gave the output very quickly, right? But Jagan's book is waiting in the printers for years and years. Yada, remove that name. Put your real name and remove the rest of the things. Right. Perhaps he didn't like his ideas, but printers did not have to like an idea in order to print it. He should rather be like Sivaraman, who had to fry something even if he didn't care for it himself. The cotton got thinner and longer as if it were the soft dough from which Sivaraman sometimes drew fine vermicelli strands. Vermicelli strand. The wheel groaned and poured and cleared its throat. Through the open roof, he could see the crescent moon passing behind the coconut trees, a couple of wispy white clouds racing across its face. Perhaps the monsoon will be breaking earlier this year, he reflected. One enters a new life at the appointed time, and it's foolish to resist. He has no longer the father of Mali, the maker of sweets and gatherer of money each day. He was gradually becoming something else, perhaps a supporter of the bearded sculptor, or was he really his wood? Right? So, Yadav, so, this. He remember when when my son wants to print that what prospect, the printers, they were very interested about that, but they didn't pay any interest towards my work. Maybe they didn't like my work, but when they print documents, they don't want to like it, right? I am the customer. According to my requirement, they should print it, right? I just want to print a obituary notice, and they says obituary notice brings bad luck, so we don't print it. They don't say so, right? එහෙම කරන්නේ නෑනේ. මරණ දැන්වීමක් print කරන්න ඕන නම් කරලා දෙන්න ඕනනේ. That's their job. They don't want to කියලා ඩාඩ print කරන්නේ නෑනේ ළමයි. They don't try and print those things. The particular people are worrying for them. It is just the printer and some of the information. That's it. So that's what he is telling. Normally, Sivaraman, my cook, when I ask him to prepare different types of dishes, he doesn't like, but he do it. He does that. For my requirement, for my orders, he obey and he produce the results. It doesn't mean that when you are doing a work, you should like it. Just imagine, I don't like the vendor of sweets. Then I says, Puta, Appo, I don't like the vendor of sweets. I hate this Mali. So I will not explain. Whenever the word Mali is exists in the book, I will not read that particular word because I hate him. Can I say so? No, right? It's my job to explain the content, right? Likewise, the argument he brings is really valid. There was a knock on the door, which was lost in the pouring of the spinning wheel. The middle door opened and Mali came in, looking like an arrival from another planet in that dim light. Jagan had fitted 10-watt retina, 10-watt bulbs in the light socket in order to benefit the human retina. Not help the human retina, but to save the money. 10-watt? ඔයාලා ගෙදර ළමයි 10 watt bulb එකක් මං හිතන්නේ දකින්නවත් නැතුව ඇති. Nowadays we are having this LED bulb. Because of that reason 10 watt is more than enough. But what about that the other bulb? 10 watt කියලා කියන්නේ නිකන් ඉටිපන්දමක් පත්තු කරාවත් එන්නේ නැහැ. ඉස්සර LED bulb තිබුණ නැහැනේ. මේ LED bulb LCD bulb මේවා තිබුණ නැහැනේ ඉස්සර. මේවට කියන්නේ මොනවාද පුතේ? LED bulb නේද? Yes. Earlier they had only that CFC bulb. නේද? CFC bulb දෙක කියන්නේ ඒව ඇවිල්ලා at least for a room you need 70 to 80 watts. හැබැයි 70 to 80 watts ඇත්තටම S දෙකට මේ මොනවද කියන්නේ? S දෙක ඒකට හුරු වුණාම light එක අඩු room එකට ගියාම පේන්නේ නැහැ. S දෙක පේන්නේ නැතු යනවා. මට ළමයි පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. හරිද? මට තනියම මොන හරි ලියන්න යනකොට අකුරු පේන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි මට උගන්වනකොට අකුරු පේනවා. මොනවද මන් දන්නේ නැහැ. එක එක ලෙඩ වගේ හැදෙන්නේ. Yeah. While I'm explaining, I don't need anything, but I can read the words. These words are super small, no? But while I'm trying to do things alone, I can't. Hari. So here, Mali has been waiting until his father come back home. Yes or no? He has been waiting. That's how he quickly opened the door and enter. Excited at the sight of his son, Jagan snatched a towel and he hid his chest under it. If he had known that he was coming, he have had his jibba on. He left his spinning and leaped up to fetch a stool to seat Mali. Mali took it from his hand, muttering, "What a fuss you make!" planted it in the open court and sat on it, while Jagan stood about uncertainly. "Sit down, father," Mali commanded, "but don't turn that wheel. It's noisy and I want to talk to you." So Mali really didn't like that spinning wheel, the sound of it. So maybe the noise has disturbed him. At this, Jagan felt a sinking in his stomach and smacked his drying lips. He moved away from his spinning wheel, folded his arms across his chest, and asked, "Now tell me, what do you want?" See, Mali, Jagan quickly offered the stool so that his son can stand, son can sit, and the son command his father, "Sit down, sit down." "Yes, sit down, father." Still, Jagan didn't sit down. So um, he's folded his arms across his chest and wait like a servant, and the son is like a commander. "Everyone talks about you in the town," said Mali in a tone of accusation. So he's blaming, he's complaining, he's accusing him. Jagan stiffened slightly but said nothing. The sinking in the pit of his stomach was gradually leaving him as he remembered that one ought not to resist when circumstances pushed one across the threshold of a new personality. So when somebody is getting opportunities to stay away from unwanted situation, that person should utilize it. අපිට තේරෙනවා නම් අපි ඉන්න වාතාවරණය අපිට හරියන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම අපිට ලයිෆ් එකේ ඔපචුනිටි එකක් හම්බෙනවා නම් ඒ අවස්ථාවෙන් stay away වෙන්න, වැළකීලා ඉන්න, දුරස්ත වෙලා ඉන්න අපි ඒ ඔපචුනිටි එක use කරගන්න ඕන. "What do they talk about?" he asked. He was beginning to shed the oath in which he had held his son. "Who are they?" කවුද මං ගැන වැරදියට කියන්නේ? කවුද මං ගැන මේ "Everyone talks about you in the town." "Who everyone? Who they?" The Ananda Bhavan said, and a number of others were discussing you yesterday. Jagan did not wish to perceive the subject and so mumbled, "Let them." He felt unhappy having to speak in a new tone of voice to Malik, from whom he used to pine for a world. "I am a new personality and have to speak a new tongue." He could not judge the expression on his son's face because the crescent moon was now completely gone and his bulb enveloped everything in a pale yellow light, making all faces and all moods look alike. I told you, no? So this person is living a minimum life, right? So he has provided the facilities in a minimal level. So the bulb is not enough, the light is not enough to read the facial expression of a man. The light is enough to recognize, okay, there is a person in the room. If we want to read the facial expressions and get a clear picture about the person, he needs something else. So the crescent, if the moon was there, the moonlight and the bulb light is enough to read out. ඒකයි මං කිව්වේ අර ගෙදරක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 10 watt bulb එකක් දානවා කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ වගේ කුහකේ කොහෙවත් නැහැ කියන එකයි. එහෙම නේද? You don't have such we don't say the stingy, we tell the such kind of people Scrooge කියලා කියන්නේ අර මේ ඉස්සර හිටියා කියලා කියනවා නේද මේ රජ කෙනෙක් හෙන්න පෙරේත රජ කෙනෙක් කැවුම එකක් හදන්න ඕන වුණාම මේ ඉහළ මාලේ තනි කාමරයකට ගිහිල්ලා තනියම කැවුම හදාගෙන කන රජුෙක් හිටියා නේද? මසුරු සිටානෝ මොකද එයාගේ නම? කොසල් රජතුමාද? Who is that? කොසල් රජතුමාද? මට මතක නැහැ. හෙන්න ලෝබයි මසුරු සිටානෝ මේ කැවුම් කණ්ඩ ආස හිතලා කැවුම් හදන එක සුවඳ දැනුනොත් එහෙම අනිත් කට්ටියටත් දෙන්න ඕන නිසා මොනවද කරන්නේ? ඉහළ මාලේ තනි කාමරයකට අරන් ගිහලා තමයි කැවුම හදන්නේ. කැවුම් හදන්නේ මට මතක හැටියට. ඔයාලා දන්නේ? So අන්න ඒ වගේ තමයි. We call them Scrooge, not stingy, Scrooge. Mali took a paper from his pocket, tried to read it and said petulantly, why can't you have brighter light? දැක්කනේ පිරිමි ළමයා හෙන he is very young no. He himself can't read the text with the help of that illumination. The power is not that enough. Light rays should soothe the optic nerves and not stimulate them, right? When you have the light, we should not see something after taking much effort. එතකොට ඇස් ඇවිල්ලා අපිට දැන් හිතන්නකෝ ඔයාලා පොතක් කියනකොට ඔක හරියට කියව ගන්න බෑ. ඇහැට එච්චුටක් හරි අමාරු. එතකොට අපි මොනවද කරන්නේ? ඇස් දෙක පොටි කරලා, චූටි කරලා මෙහෙම කරලා රීඩ් කරනවානේ. It's not good. So you are going backward. You have to take the solution for that. කළුවරේ ඇස් දෙක හරි අමාරුවෙන් එහෙම බලන්න හොඳ නැහැ. ටෝච් ගහගෙන එහෙම කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ. ඇස් දෙක පුළුවන් තරම් මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? ඇස් දෙකට the eye should feel easiness. Then only you can take advantages of from that for a long time. නේද? The boy smiled cynically and said, this cable came in the afternoon from my associates. When he heard the word associate, Jagan did not need to hear anything more. He was not scared as he would have been 48 hours ago. In a few hours, I have undergone a lot of change, but the boy doesn't know it. He reflected. Let me kind to him. No harm in showing him kindness. After all, he felt a stab of habitual tenderness and regret at sounding so officious to Mali. What does the cable say? Earlier, he was talking to his son without taking care much, right? He was a bit officious towards him. Then he came back to his normal mode. He thought like, earlier I was afraid of this life. Earlier I thought how I am going to continue this life. Now I am not going to continue this life. I am going to say goodbye to this problematic life and stay away from this. I have taken the decision. My son will get to know after few hours, after few days. But till that, I can show my kindness, habitual kindness towards him. What's wrong with that? මම මෙච්චර කාලේ ආදරෙන් හිටියා වගේ ආදරේ හිටියා නම් හරිනේ. ඇයි මේ නැති වෛරයක් දරුවට පෙන්වන්න යන්නේ කියලා හිතනවා. Jagan looked bewildered. Mali spread it out again and catch the light, failed and repeated from memory. Please, cable, status of our project. Jagan looked bewildered. This was not the English he knew. Except from the word cable, the rest did not mean anything. He said, why should they ask you to cable? An ordinary letter will do. The boy said, we have to move pretty fast in business matters. Why can't you leave that to me? I know what to do. What shall I say in reply? What in is status? Whose status are they talking about? Malik clenched his fist and said, clench his face. Are you going through with our manufacturing business or are we not? අපි මේ manufacturing business එක කරනවද නැද්ද? Do you propose to talk about it now? Or then මේ ගැන කතා කරන්නද ඕනේ? I must know about. Of course, yes, I want to know about. Jagan felt a sudden pity for the boy sitting there forlorn and puzzled, and he cursed the barrier which seemed to raise itself whenever they came together. He pleaded, son, I leave you in charge of the shop. It's yours. Take it. Right? I don't know about manufacturing business. If you want, I can give my shop to you. You can run it. The boy made a face at the mention of the shop. Fortunately, the dim light did not reveal it fully. I tell you once and for all, I don't want to be. He merely concluded, I have learned valuable things in the United States at the cost of several $1,000s. Why can't our country make use of my knowledge? I can't, although he avoided the face. Vendor of sweet, his repugnance for the occupation came out unmistakably. Yadav, Yadav, okay. So what he's telling, I'm not ready to take care of this business. So he was supposed to say, sweet vendra sweet. Matoya me රසකැවිලි වෙලෙන්දෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ නෑ. That word he was supposed to use, but he didn't do that. They remained silent, and Mali added the final touch, in case your business is worth nothing now. In any case, your business is worth nothing now. දැන් ඔයාගේ business එක කිසිම වටිනාකමක් නැහැ. Who told you that? කවුද ඔයාට ඒක කිව්වේ? Everyone in the trade is talking about you. What are you trying to do anyway? හැමෝම ඔයා ගැන කතා කරනවා. මොනවද ඔය කරන්න හදන්නේ? Jagan remained silent. Whereupon Mali again described his fiction writing machine in detail and repeated the contents of his prospects. Jagan listened while the stars ran their house. When Mali paused, having reached the end of his prospect, Jagan just asked, "Where is Grace?" "Why?" asked the son. So you understand, when Mali was reading the prospect, he was counting the stars, thinking this and that. When the Mali complete his reading, quickly he asked about Grace. It shows what? He was not considering, he was not listening to Mali. He was not paying his concentrations towards Mali's explanation. He was thinking about something else. "Why?" asked the son. Jagan had no answer. He was not bound to answer every question. Mali insisted, "I have to know whether you are coming into our business or not. You tell me whether you are going to support my business or not. Grace will have to go back. We will have to buy her air tickets. That's all. I have decided to send Grace back." "What has it to do with her?" asked Jagan. The connection were baffling like the wiring at the back of the radio panel. "Why should she stay here?" asked the boy plainly. "She has nothing to do here." Who? What is the name? Grace. Grace should go back home. Why is that? What is she going to do here? Because we are not going to run a business. I asked Grace to join with us because I wanted to start a business. Now I'm not in a situation to start it. So what the use of keeping her? How selfish this man is, right? How money-minded this person is, right? How business-minded this person is. What I do not understand what you are talking about. I have never been able to understand you at all. Call her. Let me talk to her. He had got used to the presence of the Grays in the house, and he felt desolate at the thought of losing her. "She has gone out," said Mali briefly. "Where at this time of the night? She can go where she pleases. Why should anyone question her? Not like our generations, not like our culture. Those girls, they go out whenever they want and nobody can question them." It's not that," said Jagan. Fate seemed to decrease that there should be no communication between them. Some invisible force twisted their tongues when they wanted to speak and made them say the wrong thing. Jagan stood up desperately, bent close to his son's face, and cried, "Where is she going? Why is she going? Is she happy? Is she unhappy here?" Mali rose to his feet and said, "Who are you to stop her from going where she pleases? She is a free person, not like the daughter-in-laws in our miserable country." In India, they have the right. They have the male dominant families, right? Female, whenever they do something, they ask permission from their partner, from their husband. First from father, second from husband. Jagan said, "I just want to know why she's thinking of going. That's all. She is Of course, free. Who says she's not? Has anything made her unhappy? That's true. She is happy. She is free. She can take any decision. But why she want to leave? What is there to keep her happy? Cried Mali. This is a miserable place with no life in it. She was used to a good life. She came here to work, and she's going back because she has no work to do. She's an active woman. She can work. She's having a lot of potentials. But here she has nothing to do. That's why we have decided to send her back. Jagan swallowed back the words he wanted to hurt. He wanted to blurt out, but she is sweeping and cleaning the house. This is a big house and she has enough work to keep her engaged for a whole day. What more does she want? ඉස්සර එහෙමනේ නේද? මේ ගෙවල් වල වැඩ බලාගෙන මිදුලතු ගාලා ළමයිව බලාගෙන ගෙදර උයලා කරලා ගෙවල් අස් කරලා රෙදි හොදා හිටියාම women have no time. So that's more than enough to keep them engaged. එහෙම තමයි හරිම typical mindset එකක් නේ තියෙන්නේ people. Mali announced she came here for a project to work with me. Didn't you see her name in the notice? Jagan had learned the art of ignoring question. Mali got up saying if she has nothing to do here, she goes back. That's all. Her air ticket must be bought immediately. But her wife must be with her husband whatever happens. That was in your day, said Mali and left. Jagan lost his sleep that night. The obscurity of the whole business worried woman. Grace was out of his sight. He liked her presence in the ghost. It filled a serious lacuna. Where had Mali hidden her at the moment? He wouldn't even admit that he knew where she had gone. Was this how a man kept track of his wife? මෙහෙමද මේ පිරිමි කෙනෙක් තමන්ගේ wife බලාගන්නේ, right? When he consider, when it is about the business, can a person leave the wife, right? Can a husband ask his wife to leave the house just because he can't start his business? හරිද? ඔන්න අපිට තව chapters 4ක් තියෙනවා. 10th chapter එක මම හෙට ගන්නවා. හරිද? same time frame අපිට ටක් ගාලා කරන්න පුළුවන්. grade 10 මේ 10 එකත් අපිට පැය දෙකක් ඕනේ නැහැ පුතේ. within a very short period we can cover up each chapters. හරි. අදට අපි නවත්තලා ඊළඟ හෙට කරමුද? ඔයාලා මේ practice කරගෙන එනවද? හොඳට chapter 9th එක practice කරලා read කරලා අඩුපාඩු මොන හරි තියෙනවා නම් බලාගෙන එන්න. මම හෙට same time එකට chapter 10 එක පටන් ගන්නවා. 10 එක 11 එක මොකද්ද පුතේ දිග chapter එකකට තියෙන්නේ 12 එක චුට්ටක් දිගයිද? 12th one bit lengthy, no? Yes.
Ma'am, tomorrow should we do the presentations?
No, not the presentation, explanation. Presentation I will give you extra time. අයි දන්නවද මේ time එක අපි මේ දෙක දිගටම දවස් 5ක් කරලා දැම්මොත් ඉවරයිනේ fiction එක. එතකොට මගේ responsibility එක වෙයි. ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලගේ presentations ගන්න part එක ඔයාලගේ අතේ වැඩ තියෙනකොට මට මගේ පැත්තෙන් මේ මම force කරනවා ඔයාලට මට කරලා දෙන්න කියලා. මම මගේ එක කරලා ඉවර කරා නම් හරි. හරිද? continuously මම මේ ටික දවස් 5ක් අරගෙන එක දිගට කරගෙන යන්න. Saturday Sundays උත් මට same time frame එක මට okay. Next Saturday මට okay. Yadav නෑ. For you can't, right? Tenuki you can't. What about night? What about night like?
Ma'am, night, the whole January I can't do.
Okay, right. එහෙනම් අපි මේ සතිය දවස් ටිකේ කරමු. මොකද Saturday Sundays තමයි මේ මමත් වැඩ නැතු ඉන්නේ. ඒතකොට ඒ දවස්වල මම ක්ලාසස් දැම්මොත් මාව ගෙදරින් එලවයි. අන්තිමට හරිද? මේ ගෑනු කෙනා කොයි වෙලාවෙත් ගෙදර නැහැ කියලා. ගෙදර හිටියත් ගෙදර නැහැ කියලා. ඒ නිසා හරි. අපි හෙට කරමුකෝ. හෙට 10 ඉවර කරොත් අපිට 3යි ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ. Okay then. God bless you. මම recordings upload කරන්නන්ට අකාර.
God bless you too, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.